Hello and welcome. In this particular video, we're going to be showing you how to investigate a land or a property before buying. This topic is long overdue. A lot of you have reached out on this particular subject matter, and we are glad that we're bringing it your way today. Trust me, every single information you're going to get in this particular video has the capacity to save you millions of naira. So you will do yourself a great favor by watching till the very end. We're basically going to share 10 tips with you in this particular video, and I do encourage you to watch it to the very end. Alright, my name is Rei Ltd. I'm a real estate entrepreneur as well as a property lawyer here in Nigeria. Alright, so let's do number one. Of course, the first point of call is to search for the property, right? Without looking for the property, you may not be able to get the right things done. So your first point of call is search for the property and be sure that it fits what you are looking for. So for some of you get to reach out to agents to help you do that. Some of you will reach out to us at Fortreal Rei Ltd to help you do that. Meanwhile, everything you're watching on this video on this channel is brought to you by Fortreal Rei Ltd. Alright, so some of you just get to reach out to us and say, okay, hey, help us to look for this property we're looking at, and we've done that over time. And some of you will succeeded in getting you what you want, and we've been able to deliver on the job, right? So your first point of call is to search for the property and ensure that it fits the purpose for which you are looking for it or you want to buy it, right? And then whilst doing that, you either do it yourself or you look for an agent to do that for you. Now, it's important that you pay attention to this particular very point. Now, when involving an agent to do that for you, you need to look out for who this agent is. Who is this person? All right. So you don't just look out for anybody to help you start looking for a land, because the person's priority matters to your money. Who the person is matters to your money. I need to say that again, the person's priority as it relates to that particular land or property that you're looking for, investment that you want to make, it's very important to your money. Because what I mean is priority. Some agents, with respect to them, they are out for their percentage. I'm trying not to go into so much details in this particular video, right? But I just need to get the point. I'm going to share 10 tips with you, right? So that's number two, right? So number three, look out for the person you are buying from. Number three, look out for the person you are buying from. Who is this person? Who is this person you are buying from? Now, it may not look like something that this point may not look really critical or something, but trust me, who you are buying from matters a lot, because by knowing who the person is, you'll be able to ascertain what the person can do or cannot do, right? So there are persons who will go to any extent to protect their reputation if the land they sell to you has any issue. There are some other persons who would never, once you have made payment to their account and they've signed the document transferring title to you, they don't bother. They don't care whatever is happening to you or whatever is happening to you because of that land. They don't care, right? So you need to be particular about who you are buying from. So with respect to that, some of the things that you should be looking out for is the person's pedigree, the person's reputation, of who the person is generally, right? So that is really important. Then if you're buying from a company, it's important that you investigate the company. So there's something we refer to as corporate services. We also do that whenever we buy. Anytime we're buying any property for a client in a company, we research on the property, on the company, what we refer to as corporate investigation, right? So ensure that you carry out corporate investigation to be sure. One of the things that you will get when doing corporate investigation is you want to know if the company is actually truly existing. It is sad when we get to see situations where somebody is somebody in the name of a company is using a business name to sell a property to a client. That is off. That is totally off, right? So you need to ascertain whether the company is registered and not registered. And if it's registered, it is not registered as a business name but as a limited liability company that has the capacity to transact or transfer title a land. All right, so corporate investigation is really important. And one of the things that you also get from corporate investigation is that you ascertain who are the directors of the company and who own the company, right? So that also is very very, very important. Number 4, inspect the land. Do yourself a favor by inspecting the land. Some of you, especially those who live in the diaspora, um, you it's absolutely okay. Some of you trust us to do everything for you, and thankfully we've been able to do that without any issues, right? But uh, be that as it may, we would encourage you that if you can, if it's okay by you, do it to inspect the land. Send somebody to inspect it, and then the person you are sending also matters. The person you are sending also matters. So if the person doesn't have, so for instance, we've had situations where somebody in the diaspora lost a particular location and then reaches out to us and say, take this my brother, take this my cousin, take this my whoever to the land to check to see the land. And then when the person gets there, the person begins to say, it's very far. The truth about it is, the concept of very far is different from person to person, right? So for somebody who, with respect, doesn't have foresight, or doesn't understand how real estate works, we conclude that a particular location is far, not knowing that in the next 1 year that place is going to become something else, right? So who you also send for inspection really matters. Let me leave that. That's pretty much, that's really not what I want to talk about in this particular point, right? So go for inspection is very important. If you can't go for physical inspection, do live inspection, right? So the client can do a WhatsApp call, do a video WhatsApp call, and see what you're looking at for, right? And then for if it's a property, and not a land, a bare land, if it's a property with a house, right? Ensure that you check out the materials so that you don't spend so much renovating the house when you are supposed to ordinarily be moving in and just doing basic repairs and all, right? So that's really important. You need to pay attention to that. Number 6, please measure the land. I beg you in the name of God, whenever you are buying land, do well to measure the land. Now, the size of a land really matters. It matters to the price. One of the major indices that determine the price of a land is the size. And of course, you should know by now, if you watch the videos on this channel very often, you realize that the size of land differ from location to location. What you refer to as one plot of land in Lagos is different from what you refer to as one plot of land in Benin. Half plots is different from half plots, different from one location to another, right? So you must be be careful. You must pay attention to the particular location you are transacting at that particular time. You must be you must be aware, right? So the point here is measure the land. When you measure the land, you'll be able to determine whether it's 100 by 100 or 50 by 100, right? And then one of the reasons that you should also measure the land is that you are able to ascertain the identity of the land. In court, like I said, I'm a lawyer. In court, one of the very first things that the court usually look at as it relates to the substance of a particular case is the identity of the land. So if the land is not properly ascertained, it may require the court to go to the locus. By that I mean it may require the court to go to ascertain the land. So if that is not part of the picture of what the court want to consider, then there has to be a survey plan. Some of you don't even survey the plan, you don't measure the land, you just basically send money and you do agreement. And I don't know whether to say fortunately or unfortunately, some lawyers don't even care or feel concerned, and for some reasons it's because some clients, the reasons that some lawyers give is because some clients don't pay them to go and investigate the land. They were basically paid to prepare the title document. Maybe I get that or something, right? But that's usually what has been the predominant issue as it relates to that, right? So, but beyond that, measure the land. So we did this particular transaction recently, and on the title document, what we were seeing was 88 by 140. 88 by 140. But I mean, I told my guys that we needed to measure this because it's important that we do so. We always have our team to measure the land. So when we measured the land, we realized that the land was 123 by 94 by 122 by 70 something. So that's totally away from what was given to what was written on the title document and then transferred to this person. So that land issue, land boundary, and with that you lack the capacity, or you may not be able to ascertain when there's a trespass or when there's an encroachment on your land. So it's important, very important, that you measure your land. Measure the land when you are buying. All right. Before we go to number 6, I want to strongly encourage you to subscribe to this channel. I mean, imagine the content, the value of this content that we're bringing your way. This has the capacity to save you millions of naira. We have saved, or we have prevented land scams numerously. Even some of you reach out and say, oh, because of the value that we're getting from your video or the information we're getting from your channel, we've been able to prevent, or we've been able to avoid certain land issues and all of that. And that really makes sense to us. That is one of our goals, or one of our missions at Fortreal Rei Ltd. All right, so we don't just want to sell properties to you, or bring investment opportunities to you. We also want to ensure that even if you don't engage us to do any of these real estate services, or meet your real estate needs, that through the information that we bring your way, you are able to avoid issues, and of course make good use of your money in real estate. All right, so let's go to so the point is, I need you to subscribe, turn on notifications, so that you get informed on every information we bring your way on the subject of real estate and everything in between. All right, so number 6, ask questions. When you are investigating a land, make sure you ask questions. Asking questions is critical, because I remember I did a video and I said, ask questions, and when you're asking the questions, just assume that you are stupid and ask stupid questions. Because with those questions, you are able to find out certain things. With those questions, you are able to possibly get a fraudulent agent angry. Because ordinarily, a true salesman doesn't get angry when you're asking so many questions. A true salesman rather would want to give you certain information, be as transparent as possible, so that you are convinced to buy, not get angry. So with your numerous questions, you may poke hole into a fraudulent transaction, or a fraudulent scheme designed to defraud you of your money, right? So ask questions is very, very important, and also ensure that you find out if there's an access road. There's a lot of stories that we've experienced on the field with respect to access road, not having access road. Please make sure that when you are buying, that there's access road to your land, because you don't have to fly in a helicopter to your land. All right. And number 7, if it has an existing CFO, carry out a search. If it has a survey plan, carry out a search. At this point, I'm just going to scan through. My time is fast spent already, so I'm just going to scan through the remaining points, and then leave you to check out other videos that we have on the channel. So this point is, if it has a CFO, carry out a search. If it has a survey plan, carry out a search, and you'll be able to determine the encumbrance. Of course, you know there are different types of searches. There's the cadastral, there's the basic. I mean, just reach out to your lawyer, or reach out to Fortreal Rei Ltd to help you. And number 8, if you're buying from a family, ensure that the designated. If you're buying from a family or a community, ensure that the designated authorities, people who are designated, the true custodians of those properties, are the ones you are dealing with. And then it's important that you understand how and who to sign when it comes to such types of transactions. Very, very important. Of course, part of your investigative responsibility here is to find out who is who in the family. So that's really important. And number 9, carry a lawyer alongside who would help you ascertain the type of title that the land has. Title is critical. Title is the second thing that you must consider whenever you are buying your land. There's a physical investigation, there's a title investigation, documentary investigation, and this is critical. The physical land is as important as the document that they give to you, because without the document, there's no land. Without the land, there's no document. Right? So it's 50-50. You must ensure that you pay attention to the title document that you are being given to. And of course, it's the lawyer that has to do that for you. And number 10, do well to find out the history of the land. There's something referred to as root of title in law, right? So you must pay attention to, because beyond establishing the root of title for the purpose of the document, you also want to know the history of the land that you are buying. I've had numerous stories that I could have told you about the history of title. Let me just point out something. I remember there was this transaction that somebody brought to me, and because of going through the document, I saw that I asked him who is buying from. He said he was buying from the 4th person or so. And I looked at it. I looked at the document in front of me, and I told him that it's impossible. It's actually absolutely impossible for him to be the 4th person. At the end of the day, to cut a very long story short, I discovered that he was the 8th person, number 8 on the list of people buying that property. And that is important. Not just important for him, but important in the event that that particular land has any legal issue tomorrow. All right. So all of this again was brought to you by Fortreal Rei Ltd. And my name is Raymond Ijoma. And then we ensure that we not only sell properties to you, but that the properties that you buy to us are such that will lead you to sustainable wealth. Beyond the sustainable wealth, on this channel we ensure that you get information that would help you to ensure that your investments are safe, they are smart, they are profitable, and they are sustainable. Do well to subscribe and stay in touch. Whenever you need any of these services or help us, or you want us to help you investigate any property that you want to buy, please reach out to us through the numbers shown right on your screen. Enjoy the rest of your day, and bye bye.